everybody, and welcome to my channel. My name is RaiBshaw, and this is a writing vlogging channel. For those of you who are new here, I wanted to say welcome. There's actually quite a few of you, and for those of you who have been following me for a long time, you know that the last month has been really crazy for me and my husband. Dogs upstairs. One of the many crazy things of my life lately, but so for those of you who have been following me for a while, you are well aware of the fact that the last month has been really crazy for myself and my husband. We dealt with a sudden carpet beetle infestation that led to us moving out of our apartment in one weekend, moving out of state 2 months sooner than planned, and now here we are in our new home, living with my parents and a sister and her 2 little boys and my grandmother and 2 dogs, and we've added some baby chicks to the mix, and we're looking at buying some baby goats. We've got a bearded dragon, and we have this entire forest behind us. So it's been a lot of really good and exciting changes, but definitely it was a crazy month. Now that we're getting all settled in, I've filmed an entire vlog showing the new home and everything that's kind of been going on in the last week. But as I sat down to edit that vlog, I found footage from a video that I filmed actually back in August. I kind of toyed with just not filming that because so much time has passed. It was filmed in the midst of all of the craziness that was going on, and I looked over the footage and I really would like to post it, so that's what I'm gonna post today. At the beginning of that video, I said that I had just passed the 200 subscriber mark, which was a huge deal to me. I didn't start my YouTube channel with the intention of becoming a big channel and getting a lot of subscribers, so every subscriber I've gotten since I started has been a big surprise to me, like, oh wow, somebody wants to watch me. So 200 subscribers was a really big deal. Now, 1 month later, I have about 270 subscribers, which is insane to me. That's the most subscribers I've ever gotten in such a short time, and I feel so grateful. So I really wanted to say thank you. And so kind of as I hit 270 subscribers celebration, here's the positivity tag that I filmed amidst the craziness of life, and I really hope that you guys enjoy it. Thank you so much for watching, and thank you so much for subscribing. Mwah! I love you all. Today I'm going to be experimenting with doing a tag video vlogging style. So right now I'm at work. Once every hour I get up to go for a walk. Every time I get up to go for a walk, I'm going to answer one of these tag questions. So today I'm actually going to be doing the Author Pick-Me-Up Tag. This tag was created by Tebuggy, and I was also tagged by Tebuggy. I love her so much. She's literally one of my favorite people to watch on YouTube of all time. Maybe you have one of these channels where every time you see it on your subscription feed, it just makes you smile, and you can't help smiling, and you're just really excited and you want to watch it right away. That's Tebuggy's channel for me. She is so positive, so fun to watch. She does a lot of book reviews, a lot of bookish content on her channel, and then she also does a lot of writing stuff. I really love her attitude about writing, because a lot of the time it's very business focused here on Authortube, and like, how can I further my business as a writer? But she is just purely 100% focused on the writing and just the love of writing. And I feel like that's just so needed here in this community. So I highly recommend that you go and check out her channel if you have not already. I'm going to link it down below and then also up in the cards up above. So the purpose of this tag is to promote positivity in the writing community and in your own personal writing. And then the challenge is that there are no buts and no negativity. So if I give myself a compliment in this tag, I'm not allowed to say, but I'm not good at such and such, you know. The first question is, talk about friends you've made in the Authortube community. So I have made some amazing friends in this community. I consider Tebuggy to be one of them. I mentioned this in another video I did recently in my 1 year on Authortube video, that I noticed the very first people to ever comment on my video are still commenting on my videos to this day, and we're actually friends now, which is amazing, and I love it. I just may have made friends through watching their videos, and then also through them watching mine, and then through Camp NaNoWriMo of April of this year. I started a cabin with a bunch of those friends that I've made on Authortube, and then we ended up being in the same cabin together again in July's Camp NaNoWriMo. and it's so fun. And we've started a Discord group together so that we can keep talking to each other outside of Camp NaNoWriMo. It has been so much fun, and I feel incredibly fortunate with the friends that I've made. I want to just list all of them, but especially because I'm just walking around right now, I'm afraid because there's so many I'm going to forget to mention somebody really important. But just off the top of my head, Rebecca Rodriguez, Dawn Kozak, Amara Franklin, Evie Redding, Peggy Spencer, Chloe Elizabeth, Novelly KJ, Laura Wright, Tay Buggy, forgetting like really obvious people. So I'm just going to put their names down at the bottom of the screen here. Question number 2, what is the nicest compliment you've ever received about your writing? I have a really close friend who also writes, who I've been friends with since I was, I don't know, 13 or 14. And she, over the years, has told me again and again that I have a great writer voice. It's this compliment that's really kept me pushing forward with my writing and helped me when I haven't felt that good about my writing to remember that Paige told me that I have a great writer's voice. And I've had a couple of other people tell me that too since she's told me that, but I consider that to be the best compliment I could ever receive, because I know voice is something a lot of people really struggle with in their writing, and it's something I wouldn't know how to develop if I was purposely trying to, and it's not something that I can see in my own writing, so it means a lot to me to hear that from someone else who's read my writing, that I have a great writer's voice that feels natural. So that is the best compliment I've ever received, and I cling to it. Question number 3 was, what is your favorite Authortube video that you ever posted? And to this day, my favorite video I've ever made was the reading my old cringeworthy writing tag.
Where's all the girls?
It's been a while since I've actually gone through and watched it, but it made me laugh until I was crying when I filmed it. It made me laugh till I was crying when I was editing it. It's really long, and so I think that deters a lot of people from watching it, but if you've got the time to spare, I feel like it's worth watching if you want a good laugh. The next question is, when or why did you fall in love with writing? And I've talked about this a few times on my channel. I grew up in a house with 4 sisters, and my oldest sister was a big bookworm. She was reading things like The Chronicles of Narnia or Watership Down, and she would let us sit on the bed with her and she would tell us the stories in her own words instead of actually reading them to us. And then in the case of like The Chronicles of Narnia, she would show us the little pictures in the books. And then my other sisters also started getting into storytelling, and they would record stories that they would tell together on like little cassette tapes, and each of them would be doing different voices of different characters, and then they would invite my little sister and I into their bedroom to listen to the cassette tape that they had recorded. And then eventually their storytelling turned into writing, and they all started writing their own little books. None of them actually stuck with it, but I remember just being like, bing, oh hey, I could write my own stories. Like, I don't just have to just sit here and listen to somebody else tell me stories. I can come up with my own and I can write them. I had this big black binder that just had some lined pieces of paper in it, and I wrote my first story with a pencil in that binder. I was 8 years old, and I started writing a story about a mermaid, and I was working on that book from the time I was 8 years old until I was about 11 years old. I did actually multiple drafts of it. Even up until being a teenager, I still was rewriting different drafts, different versions of that mermaid story, and eventually I just kind of dropped it. That's when I fell in love with writing, was when I was really young. Mostly I feel like I fell in love with just the art of storytelling, and writing is the form of storytelling that I've latched onto. Question number 5 is, what is your favorite thing you've ever written? And that's hard because I don't even remember everything I've ever written very well. I think I wrote somewhere around 5 or 6 novels when I was in high school. I finished all of them except for one, but they were all just first drafts. Back then I didn't know anything about rewriting it to make it better. I just wrote the first draft and left it at that. But my favorite thing I've ever written has to be what I'm writing right now, because it's the story it's the project that I've put the most work into, the most research, the most blood, sweat, and tears. So that's got to be my favorite thing I've ever written. Okay, then question number 6 is, what is your favorite part about writing? Recently, I would say my favorite part about writing changes depending on what part of the writing process I'm in. So right now, because I've been doing revisions for this entire year, my favorite part is that with every round of edits or every round of revisions, I love how my main character really is just coming into herself. I love that I'm getting to know her better and that I'm coming to see her turn more and more into the character that I wanted her to be. A lot of the time you have like an idea in your head of what a character is like, or you can see them so clearly in your head, but for some reason when you sit down to write them, they never come out exactly the way you see them in your head, and you can't tell why. Like, what is not working here? But it seems like with every round of revisions that I do, I fine-tune that a little bit more, and it's not so much like I'm changing her to make her a better character. It's more like, this is the character she is in my head, but how can I reveal her more? And it's like with every round of revisions, I'm just peeling off another layer, until we're getting to like the raw, who is she and what is she actually like? And that's gotta be my favorite part of writing. Okay, the next question is, what is your strongest skill as a writer? I think it is my characters, my ability to write characters and dialogue. I feel like that's my strongest skill, and that's where I feel the most proud of what I can do and the most accomplished when I can get it right. And when I can't get it right, I feel the most drive to push through until I can. Number 8, tell us something that you're proud of. I'm really proud of the progress that I've made in my book. I went through a 7-year-long writer's block before really cracking down and writing Untamable, and I will do another video specifically on that 7-year writer's block and how I was able to overcome that. If you're interested in that, let me know down below if that's something you'd be interested in seeing. But I'm really proud of how far I've come since then. From 7 years of not being able to pen a single word to actually completing not only 1, but 2 drafts and working on the 3rd one. And I'm really proud of that. So I'm just waiting for my husband to pick me up from work now. The work day is over. The last part of this is to give myself a pep talk, which, since my husband's gonna be showing up at any second, I'm not gonna do that right now. Maybe I'll be wearing different clothes when I'm giving myself that pep talk. Don't know what this next clip is gonna look like. Rayleigh, I know that you're tired. Sometimes you have days when you're feeling really put together, like in the last several clips of this video. You have those days when you actually get up in time to do your hair and your makeup and wear a cute shirt. And then you have days like today where you could barely even find the time to brush your hair, let alone write your book. But the thing is, you've done hard things before. And I know that sometimes it's easier to look back on accomplishments you've already achieved and think, I'm not like that anymore. But it's not true. You're still that person and you have that in you. You can still do hard things. And while it's okay to acknowledge that, yeah, this is hard, focusing on that is not what's going to help you to get there. What's going to help you to get there is to remember why you are doing it. Remember, why do you want to write this book? Why do you love this book? And you know that you can do this, because you can. Remember when you did that really hard thing that one time and it felt like it was too much and it was going to break you? And then instead of letting it break you, you just made the decision that it was all in your head, and it changed your whole attitude. And you know what? That's how you get through things. Sometimes writing can be hard. You know that. We all know that. Writing can be hard. But just because it's hard doesn't mean you have to give in to those feelings of despair, of that you're never going to make it happen. You can do this because you can do hard things. You've done hard things in the past, and you are still that person who does hard things and makes them happen. And you can do it with a good attitude, because that's something that you've learned how to do. And maybe you've got to learn how to do it again. But that's a lesson that's worth learning. That's a skill that's worth developing. And this book that you're writing has value. There is no book out there that is exactly like your book. Your book is unique. Your book has the potential to be great. And your book has gotten better and better with every round of revisions that you've done on it. That's really encouraging. And it's gonna feel really great when this book is finished and you can go back and look at it and say, I wrote this book, it started out here, and then I got it up to here, because those are my standards. And it doesn't matter how long it takes for that to happen. Everybody is at a different pace. Everybody has different strengths. Some people can crank out a book really fast. You are not one of those people, and that is a good thing. It's a good thing because that is the process that works for you. That's the process that manages to draw out of you a depth that you wouldn't be able to get from writing something really quickly. Maybe some people can draw those depths really fast, but it's okay that you can't. It's okay. You are a good writer, and you write strong and powerful characters, and you are going to look back one day, and this is a book that you're going to enjoy reading yourself again and again. You got this. I believe in you. I believe in me. I think that's it. That's it for my pep talk today. I really needed to hear that. Thank you, me. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. I did have a few people that I would like to tag. I wanted to tag Timmy, Chloe Elizabeth, Amara Franklin, and anyone else who feels like they could use a positive pick-me-up to help them along on their writing journey. Thank you so much to Buggy for creating this tag. I feel like it was really needed, at least for me, it was really needed right now. I will talk to you guys later. Bye.
Would you come and take a walk with me? We'll cross over the mountains and we'll reach the pale blue sea. I love you, I'm so glad you love me too. And I